And now let's get to the very latest from the family of a South Jersey influencer found dead in Africa over the weekend.
The family of Ashlee Robinson wants answers. They say the story just doesn't add up.
They want answers after authorities in East Africa announced Ashlee Robinson died in Zanzibar this past weekend. The 31-year-old was there with her fiance. Police say she was found unconscious in her luxury villa and later was pronounced dead.
These were her final words, posted with a radiant grin during the ultimate dream vacation. Fast forward 4 days, and a resort employee swung open the entrance to a high-end suite in Zanzibar, Tanzania. And what he found inside shattered the fantasy. The celebration vanished, the proposal evaporated, and by sunrise, her life was extinguished. Now, here is where it gets sinister. The individuals expected to provide clarity vanished into silence. The inquiry meant for truth only manufactured more confusion, masking 5 clues hidden inside this tragedy. They have been staring us down the entire time, and almost nobody is talking about them. Not the first hotel, not the second one, not the phone call that came 11 hours too late, not what was found inside that room, and certainly not what is locked inside an autopsy report that her own family has never been allowed to read. Every single fact flips the story. So before you scroll past this, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to have suspicion of your own. And trust me, we're unmasking 5 insane realities about this nightmare that most creators won't touch. Welcome to Crazy Dark Files. Before we dive into the chaos, shout out your location in the comments. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you have not already. This rabbit hole is bottomless. Now, let's break it down. Ashlee Jenae Robinson was thriving at 31. She grew up in South Jersey. Regular neighborhood, regular upbringing, but she had a stratospheric vision for her life. She manifested a glitzy Miami lifestyle from the ground up. Travel, fashion, content creation. She documented everything, the trips, the outfits, the experiences, and over 100,000 people followed along because what she was building felt authentic. It felt earned. It felt like living proof that you could manifest the life you wanted if you were willing to hustle. Her family was her rock. Her father, Harry Robinson, her mother, Yolanda Andres, her sister, Alyssa Andres. By every account, they were close. The kind of family that stays loyal. And as you will see later in this story, they fought in ways that most families never have to. Then there was Joseph Isaac McCann, 45 years old, founder of Asymmetric Financial, a cryptocurrency investment firm. He was her partner, the man she was building a future with. And he was the man standing in that same resort on the night everything collapsed. Now, here's what you need to grasp about the trip itself. This was not a spontaneous getaway. Ashlee orchestrated this. She curated every look. She mapped out the full agenda. Hair, nails, lashes, everything was slayed for perfection. This was her milestone 31st birthday bash. She dived in with that unmatched vibe of someone truly obsessed with their future. Little did she know, a diamond was waiting. When McCann dropped to one knee on the savannah, she was legitimately stunned. The clip proves it, that raw happiness wasn't for clout. It was authentic. On April 5, 2026, the big 31 arrived. She dropped a safari flick with the final words she'd ever type. Chapter 31, precisely where I belong. She felt every letter. And that's what makes the aftermath so gut-wrenching. Let's dissect the logistics, because 2 separate hotels haunt this story, yet only one is getting dragged. Stop number 1 was Serville Wildlife Lodge in the shadow of Kilimanjaro. Ashlee and Joseph McCann checked in April 1, 2026, receiving the full VIP rollout. From the jump, the aesthetic was flawless. Ashlee was vlogging giraffes and scenery, feeding her fans the ultimate dream in real time. It was on these very grounds that McCann proposed. The moment was immortalized on camera. Ashlee's shock was genuine. The rock, the wildlife, the African horizon. It looked like a fairy tale. They departed Serville on April 4 to catch a flight to their doom. But here is the plot twist. When this scandal went global, Serville Lodge scrambled to issue a statement. They wanted to distance their brand from the tragedy. Understandable. However, in doing so, management accidentally spilled the tea on something criminal. The cops never even phoned them. 0 detectives, no footage audits, not a single interview. Let that sink in. A couple lands at a high-end resort, stays 3 nights, and something clearly fractures between that proposal and the final resort, yet the starting point is a ghost town to investigators. Next up, Zuri Zanzibar Resort. Villas running $950 a night. Pristine shores, elite amenities, the kind of place that feels untouchable. They arrived April 4th. Ashlee celebrated her last birthday there on the 5th. They were supposed to stay until the 10th. They never saw that checkout date together. Zuri Zanzibar became the epicenter of a global mystery, and these 5 clues are the reason we're here. Reality check 1. Initial headlines painted this as one isolated blow-up on April 8th. That was the sanitized version, and it's completely false. Police confirmed to CBS that the pair had been warring constantly from the moment they stepped onto Zuri grounds. Every single day. Neighbors in the nearby villas heard the whole thing. They reported a non-stop cycle of aggression, yelling so frequent that the people next door couldn't ignore it. But here's the chilling part. Nobody notified security until the night of the 8th. That single complaint after days of warfare is what forced management to intervene and split them up. This wasn't a bad night. It was a downward spiral. A toxic loop happening behind closed doors while Ashlee's grid looked like paradise. Her fans saw giraffes. Nobody saw the terror. Her family is adamant. Before this trip, there were 0 red flags. Yolanda described her as pure light. Alyssa swears the Ashlee who boarded that flight was on top of the world. Someone leveling up, not someone harboring darkness. Which is exactly why this matters. Because it proves something snapped. Something was brewing inside that resort that her inner circle was blind to. A horror story unfolding inside a Grandinite villa. The inquiry is silent. The medical results are buried. And the only eyewitness hasn't uttered a word. What we know is this. On the 8th, the tension finally exploded. What happened next is clue 2. Stay locked in. Clue 2. That evening, Zuri staff finally acted. After the noise complaint, they separated the couple. Joseph McCann was booted to Villa 65, roughly 10 minutes away. Now, Zuri uses high-tech key logs. Every movement is digitally stamped. The exact second McCann swiped into Villa 65 is on record. Whether feds actually care to look is another story. Around 7:30 p.m., a worker checked on Ashlee. She was alive. She asked for a charger and said, "Come back in 10 minutes. At 7:50, he returned. Silence. He knocked again. Nothing. He used the master key. What he walked into is the stuff of nightmares. Ashlee was in the closet. A belt was cinched around her neck. She was barely clinging to life. Staff scrambled, rushing her to the ER, but she never recovered. Official medical records cite cerebral hypoxia, brain death from strangulation. The report also flagged a mysterious bruise on her neck. Local cops immediately labeled it self-harm. The family is calling BS. Yolanda points to the engagement and birthday joy. Harry flat out states, "It's a lie." And here's the detail the media missed. These villas aren't fortresses. There are multiple windows and side hatches that the keycard system doesn't track. The system only watches the front door. Everything else is a blind spot. Does that timeline actually make sense to you? Sound off below. Like, subscribe, and keep watching. Clue 3. While Ashlee was fighting for her life, her family was left in the dark. The man who just proposed said absolutely nothing. 11 hours passed. Then, McCann finally called. He claimed Ashlee had harmed herself but was stable. She was literally dying. Yolanda had to interrogate him just to find out the incident happened half a day prior. He didn't offer the truth. He was backed into it. Hours later, the hotel, not the partner, broke the news of her passing. After that, McCann ghosted. No statements, no cooperation, just static. Harry Robinson is shattered, begging for a shred of transparency. Transparency, the one thing denied to them during those 11 missing hours. Clue 4. When the world started looking at Tanzania, Serville Lodge decided to protect its image. They confirmed the couple stayed there from April 1st to 4th. They confirmed the viral proposal happened on their soil. And then they dropped the bomb. Cops ignored them. No one asked for the tapes. Witnesses at the next resort claim the fighting started day 1. That means the tension began at Serville. Their cameras captured everything, and yet, nobody in charge has watched a second of it. Harry asked for the tapes, The lodge confirmed they exist, but the investigation is refusing to look. Did the lodge just reveal the smoking gun? By April 15, 2026, the forensic examination on Ashlee Jenae Robinson's remains was finalized at Nazi Moja Hospital in Zanzibar. That is stone-cold reality. The procedure is over. But here is the absolute shocker that sets this apart. The U.S. Embassy actually deployed their own medical expert from Dar es Salaam to witness that autopsy. American officials were physically in that room. They saw the evidence with their own eyes. The United States government literally has a first-hand account of what was discovered during that inspection. And whatever dark secrets that coroner uncovered are now official record. As of April 20, 2026, not a single finding has been leaked. Not to the press, not to the public, and crucially, not to Ashlee's grieving parents. Harry Robinson personally stormed Washington, D.C., to force Uncle Sam to move. He confronted high-level officials and demanded justice. That relentless hustle is exactly what got the U.S. coroner into that room to begin with, but the actual truth is still being withheld from the people who need it most. The only update they get? The investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, Joseph McCann was hauled in for questioning on April 13th, for days after Ashlee's heart stopped. The feds seized his passport, and he's currently grounded in Tanzania. Still, 0 criminal charges have been filed. Zuberi Chima, the investigative lead, is playing it close to the vest and refusing to talk. Ashlee's circle has already crowdfunded 40 grand to fly to Zanzibar themselves because the official channels are failing them. One massive question is haunting this case. Does the autopsy confirm the local theory, or does it reveal something far more malicious? The answer is locked in that file, and this family won't rest until the seal is broken. Before we wrap, we need to discuss the survival guide this tragedy left behind. Listen closely. First, never travel without leaving a paper trail. Resort names, villa digits, flight times. Give it all to someone reliable. Ashlee's folks were stranded thousands of miles away with zero leverage. Don't let that be your story. Second, if you're venturing abroad, enroll in the State Department's STEP initiative. It's totally free, takes seconds, and ensures the embassy knows your name before things go south. Harry had to fight tooth and nail just to get noticed. This system exists specifically so you don't have to. Third, aggression leaves clues. One random spat is one thing, a daily war is a red flag. Trust the patterns, they never lie. Fourth, hotels need to do better. When staff hears warfare day after day, simply shuffling rooms is negligence. The safety protocol needs a total overhaul. And fifth, noise creates change. Harry Robinson proved that standing your ground in DC forces the government's hand. Persistence gets results. Families who scream loudest get the truth. Ashlee Jenae Robinson built an empire and loved her life. She believed she was exactly where she belonged, and now her bloodline is fighting through the darkness to bring her home. Let's recap the chaos. Constant fights that went unreported, a villa with massive security blind spots, an 11-hour blackout from the partner, ignored tapes from the first lodge, and a smoking gun autopsy report that's being hidden from the people who loved her. The case is boiling, no one is in handcuffs, and the results are under lock and key. As we speak, Ashlee's family is boarding a plane to confront this mystery on the ground. They have one simple demand: don't let them bury her story. Say it with me. Ashlee Jenae Robinson. If this exposed the truth for you,